COVID has provided our country with many new challenges and obstacles. We have had to completely alter our lifestyle to protect our family, friends, and loved ones. Not only that, but we have had to deal with many other problems during this year, such as the election, racism in our country, and whatever our families have been going through. Despite that, healthcare workers and professionals have been diligent and focused on their work. More than ever, we need healthcare workers to step up to the plate and put in the extra hours. As of now, we have approximately 18 million individuals working in the healthcare industry. Even though that many people are choosing this profession, it is often undervalued. Many may think it is not undervalued because they receive an adequate amount of money, but we often forget just how dangerous and precise their jobs actually are. I believe that healthcare workers should receive an increase in pay during the pandemic because they risk their lives every day, they're experiencing added stressors, and they are putting in countless hours of work. As I already mentioned, COVID is making our country scramble for answers. In the US alone, over 250,000 individuals have lost their lives because of the deadly and lethal virus. Almost every major business, school, and organization has been forced to shut their doors to the public to ensure the safety of themselves and others. However, hospitals, nursing homes, and other healthcare facilities have kept their doors open. These workers have put aside their personal interests and needs and have dove headfirst into this crazy situation. Even though they are practicing safe habits such as social distancing and wearing masks, they understand that when they step into work, they are literally putting their lives on the line. With cases skyrocketing every single day, more and more COVID patients have come to these professionals seeking advice and help. These individuals continue to do their job during the pandemic, even if that means their life is completely altered. People who are this dedicated and committed to ensure the safety and health of others deserve to be compensated handsomely. The common argument, and most effective in my opinion, is comparing the salary of a healthcare worker and professional athlete. In 2019, the average MLB salary was $4.4 million. While these athletes do work extremely hard, they are only providing entertainment for us. On the other hand, the average salary of a healthcare practitioner in 2019 was $68,190. These workers and individuals are saving lives day in and day out and providing us with vital information to end this pandemic. These facts show why healthcare professionals deserve an increase in pay. Health is not the only thing these people are sacrificing. Time is another aspect of their lives that is being taken by their jobs. If you have ever been around someone who works in a hospital, you understand more than anyone that work does not end when your shift is over. Depending on your job and where you work, you can be required to be on call 24/7. While this is rare, it goes to show just how demanding these jobs actually are. Let's compare the average work week for doctors and non-doctors. It is estimated that doctors work 59.6 hours per week, while non-doctors only work 44 hours per week. The substantial difference between these numbers goes to show that doctors are putting forth more time and effort to get their jobs done. With COVID, we can assume that these numbers have greatly increased. Hospitals have been crammed with patients. Some hospitals have reached maximum capacity, and some have even gone over maximum capacity. With the high demand for medical attention, these individuals are being forced to give their information more than ever. My next and final point may seem biased, but it is important to understand the difficulty of their jobs. COVID has impacted the lives of many Americans, but not in the ways you may think. Jobs have become more and more difficult due to the health requirements that have been put in place by the CDC and other regulations. In particular, healthcare professionals have experienced numerous amounts of new stressors. It is no secret that the life of a doctor or nurse is extremely difficult, but this has been escalated due to COVID. Imagine if you had to tell someone's parents, siblings, and friends that they cannot spend their final moments with the person they love. This is just one example of a stress that has been added to a nurse or doctor's life because of COVID. They are also responsible for being there in someone's last moments and are having to make difficult and important decisions every single hour. One quote from a doctor shows how stressful this can be. He says, "The enormity of my responsibility crashes down on me. It is suffocating." Most people will not be put into the situations these men and women are currently in. To fully accept my argument, it is essential to acknowledge the counterarguments and understand why they are wrong. First, most people will say that healthcare professionals understand what they are getting into when they sign up for the job. While this may be true, I would argue that hazard pay needs to be increased due to the increased risk of working at hospitals during this time. Hospitals are more dangerous than ever, but these brave individuals will work regardless of what conditions are there. Many will argue that healthcare workers are already paid enough, and this is the second counterargument, so there is no need for an increase in pay. While this is another valid point, it does not make sense when you break everything down. These men and women are working long and intense hours, and there have been some cases of working 36-hour shifts. I have seen stories on the news, and you probably have too, that show the terrible conditions these men and women are subjected to. I can barely even stay awake for 36 hours, let alone work a job and make a decision that these men and women are making. The final counter-argument is that there are stressors for every single job. Again, this point is true, but the stressors for healthcare professionals are much more intense than the average American. These people are dealing with life and death, not the simple stresses that you and me expect to encounter. Most of us would not even be able to handle this stress, which brings me back to my original point. The average American is not capable of doing the work that these professionals do, which is why these healthcare professionals should receive an increase in pay. I agree that this topic is controversial, since these men and women already receive a very substantial amount of money. All jobs are needed for society to function. However, if there were no doctors, there might not even be a society to maintain. Doctors continue to work with each other to improve our lives, not just their own. They sacrifice their time and holidays with their family to ensure the health and safety of everyone in this country. Finally, they put forth the effort, and for these reasons, I believe they should receive a fitting reward. It is time for us to understand that healthcare professionals go to extreme measures to ensure the health and safety of everyone they encounter. We need to spread the word about what is happening and have everyone try and comprehend this issue.